What up, everybody? Today I'm taking the Power Universe to the Maury Show, to the Jerry Springer Show, to find out who is Brayden Weston's real dad. Is Robert Weston the father? Or is it his slimy brother Lucas Weston? Having a long break before Force comes back on in September, I get a minute to dissect and break down different ideas and theories from the Power Universe. In the game and business, a good analyst, as well with other parts of life, it's always good to look at all the possibilities so you are not blindsided. So don't shoot the messenger, because we all know that this type of stuff happens all the time in real life. Every other week there's a story on Twitter about a poor man who done raised a child to a certain age, only to find out he isn't even the child's biological father. And just to keep it 100, if every man got a paternity test for all their children, we would hear about this happening a lot more frequently. Men cheat, women cheat. I mean, this stuff dates all the way back to the Bible days with David and Bathsheba. And people really treated me like the bad guy when I said if I was a certain power character's daddy, I would have gotten a DNA test. It's not personal, it's just me. I'm not the type of man who about to get played like that. Like MJG said, take heed to the mistake that you just made, thinking a player could get played. And before I move on to the topic, let me also say that these type of situations have been a theme in Power. Going back to season 4, when Tommy found out his dad, who he thought was dead, was actually a mobster named Tony Teresi. Then in season 1 of Raising Kanan, we found out that Deathcon, who everyone thought was Kanan's father, wasn't, and Kanan's real dad was actually a cop named Malcolm Howard. Kanan's own mother, Rock, even tried to get him to kill his own father to keep the truth from coming out. In Ghost Season 1, we were introduced to a promising young basketball star named Zeke Cross, his aunt Monet, and his cousins. Come to find out, Monet was actually Zeke's mother, and on top of that, Zeke was actually 23, even though he thought he was only 18. Then Tommy went to Chicago in Force Season 1 and found out that his grandmother, who he was also told was dead, was actually alive and living in a nursing home. When he went to visit his grandma, he found out that he had a brother and a nephew who he knew nothing about. So who wants to see that backstory? Power Book 5, Raising Kate. Getting me to the topic, Lucas Weston is Brayden's real dad. So first things first, why Lucas? When the Ponzi scheme was first exposed, all the Westons were trying to get Robert to turn on Lucas, but he wouldn't. He told his wife, Nicole, you act like you want to him. And Nicole's only defense is that was the Klonopin talking. And Becca's response was, come on, Mom, just the Klonopin? So what did she mean by that? Obviously, Becca knew her mom was attracted to Lucas. That and the fact that Nicole drinks all the time and pops pills. During family weekend, Nicole was disgusted when Robert was having a trip down memory lane and poured her up an extra drink. We also learned that dinner, Robert was having an affair with his assistant. Seeing how the Weston associates partied in the first few episodes, I would guess that Robert has been stepping out on Nicole ever since they first got married. And because of that, I can see Nicole turning to Lucas and having an affair with him that might have even lasted until Lucas died. Keep in mind that Lucas had no respect for Robert. Remember the way he was talking about him before Brayden killed him. That is not the type of man who is above sleeping with his brother's wife. And we never saw Lucas have a love interest either. Trace thought it was Kiki, but we know that's not true. So I think Nicole Weston was Lucas's secret lover. And sticking with Brayden killing Lucas, I think they might have given us a clue during his conversation with Tariq, soon before killing Lucas. He said, I don't want to end up like you, someone who could kill their own father. When Brayden first got to Weston Holdings, Lucas told Brayden that course correct was genius, and it was something he would have thought of. Also keep in mind that Robert or Trace had no idea that Ponzi scheme was going on, but Brayden figured it out in no time, showing he is more like Lucas than Robert or Trace. But sticking with Trace, depending on how long Lucas and Nicole's affair has been going on, if Brayden isn't Lucas' son, maybe it's Trace. Trace said he would turn on Brayden in a heartbeat, just like Lucas did to Robert. Also, Lucas and Trace did not get along. This may be because they're too much alike and both very selfish and self-centered. But more likely than Trace being Lucas' son is Becca being Lucas' daughter. Becca is the youngest of the Weston children. So if Lucas and Nicole's affair started later on, the most likely child to be Lucas's would be Becca. And there's also the possibility, depending on how long they've been hooking up, that more than one of those children belongs to Lucas. When the Westons first found out about the Ponzi scheme and nobody could get a hold of Lucas, Nicole sent Becca to his apartment to see what was going on. Becca said his favorite niece. But could the real reason why Nicole sent her over there was because she thought he might answer the door for his daughter? Then there was also the scene when the Tejadas walked in and did their little home invasion, that before they got there, Becca called everyone selfish and said, "What about Lucas's funeral?" Trace said they weren't even going to that. Did Becca have that special connection with Lucas because she is his daughter? And there you have it, the secret love affair between Lucas and Nicole Weston. And is Lucas Brayden's real dad? Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.